How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Tokyo Revengers, a show that came out in 2021, finished I think also in 2021, and is getting a second season this year, either this year or early 2023. I don't remember, but I watched it recently. One of my friends, my friend Christian, who is a frequent viewer of the channel, he was like, "Yo, you should watch Tokyo Revengers." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll get to it." But he was like, "No, you should watch Tokyo Adventures." I was like, oh, okay. So he showed me like 3 episodes when I would hang out with him. Like he showed me the first 3 episodes, and then after that he was like, all right, everything else is up to you now. And so I was like, all right, bet I'll watch it when I watch it. And that was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And now I just finished it, and that's just because of other stuff that I was watching, so on and so forth. But this show is great. This show, flat out, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. At its best, it's a 9. At its worst, it's like a 7. It's peak. Like it's actually peak when it comes to just watching an anime and being hooked. I love this show so much. When I picked it up and I was like, oh shoot, alright, let me just pick up where I left off, episode 4, and then I watched all the way until episode 12 for one part of it, and then after I did that, I watched from 12 to 19, and after I did that today, I literally watched from 19 to, or well, from 20 to 24, and it's just like I binged that. I binged the show, and I haven't done that since like Bleach, One Piece, and some other shows because oh, Fire Force as well. I haven't done that in so long. Like I legit was hooked. I wanted to see what happened in the next episode, and it's been a while. It's legit been a while since I've seen that from an anime, and it was awesome. It was legit so awesome. Let me go into the negatives first. Let me start talking about those. So for me, Takamichi is a half and half character, where sometimes he can be a little annoying, while other times he's amazing. And I can see that with how some people can view him. Like he has like Midoriya syndrome where he cries a lot, right? He cries a lot. He loses his metal, I guess his wave. He starts wavering, and I can see how that can be annoying. But for me, the difference between Midoriya and Takamichi is that I want to root for Takamichi, and this is me personally. I want to root for him. I don't really want to root for Midoriya, and that might be because we just seen him for so long, and it's been 6 seasons, so that thing can get grating. But I like the characters in Tokyo Revengers, and My Hero, it's half and half. I like some of them, and I don't like most of them. But with Tokyo Revengers, it's like, yo, I like watching Takabichi fight for these characters, fight to save these characters in the future, and seeing how much he'll do to change it. Like with his girlfriend, with Draken, with Mikey, with Baji, with Shifuyu, Hazutora, I think that's his name is, Mitsuya, all these people, seeing how what he'll do to help him, and it just even when he's crying, like when I notice it myself, like oh shoot, he's crying again. That's crazy. But I find myself most of the time crying along with him because I care just as much about these characters as he does. Like I found myself getting so invested into this plot that when he would cry, I didn't care because I was crying with him. Like I shoot, I'm a crybaby as much as he is. So seeing that there, it's like, oh shoot, I can relate a little bit. I can relate. I understand why you're crying. But shoot, man, these characters are great. Like Baji in this show, he went from like, oh, he's all right, to this is one of my favorite characters in the entire show. I don't know how that happened, but it happened, and the show slash manga did a great job making that happen because oh my gosh, Baji went from like 5 out of 10 to 9, bro. It was crazy. It was so crazy. That last arc of the show, I already liked the show before, but that elevated it even more, which was crazy. You have the beginning of the show where it's like, oh, okay, it's just starting out. Starting out, it's a little slow, but then once you meet Mikey and Draken, that's when it picks up. That's when things get crazy, bro. You have August 3rd, you have Bloody Halloween. Those are the only two things that happen in the show besides like the intro and the final episode. But that doesn't matter to me. Like legit, I was just invested from start to finish once I picked the show back up. It was awesome. I legit cried so much, so many times throughout this show. Like in the first couple episodes, I was getting invested, but like with Takamichi and all that. But then later on, as things developed, I was getting invested with more characters, and then when tragedy struck, it was just worse and worse. I was crying so much more, each and every episode, to the point where I legit just like I just stopped resisting it anymore. I just started crying whenever, and it felt great. You know, it felt great because I cried because I loved the show. It was fire. It was just so fire. I wish I watched the show sooner because man, oh man, it was great. It was fire from start to finish. The music was great. The animation, it was good. It was good. It wasn't like Demon Slayer levels of peak where you have those two guys fighting in the second season. But it was good to hold over what it was doing, you know. Like this show isn't well, I guess like a shonen in terms of animation. This show is fire with the storytelling and the character development. Like I don't care if some scenes in the show look pretty ugly because the characters and the development keep me invested along with the music. It's great. It's actually great. Excuse me. Oh shoot, I gotta finish this video quick because I'm not trying to get a headache again. But the music, the intro, the outro, they're both great. Like watching the intro for the final time in season one, it literally got me emotional. Like I don't know who did the intro, but whoever did it, they're amazing. They're actually amazing because they captured the essence of the show perfectly. And then the outro as well, fire. You just the music is great, the story is great, the characters are great, the animation's good, it's serviceable. It's great. Like the show is I recommend it so much for people that just like feel good animes with some deeper and darker undertones in the show. And on top of that, it's a time travel show too. That's what I forgot to mention. The show is a time travel show. That hooked me in immediately as soon as that was there. The fact that it was a time travel show and the fact that I liked the main character, it was over. It was legit over. And one thing you can notice with shows like this, that they have the same thing where the main characters all go through their struggles with the fact that they're time traveling. They each have their own thing where they get sent into a bad timeline. They each have their moments of depression. They each have their person that they're trying to save, so on and so forth. Like with ReZero and Steins Gate. And it's fire. I love it because of that. So Tokyo Revengers just immediately got me hooked. It was fire from start to finish. Oh, excuse me. It was great. It was great. So I'm gonna have to give it an 8, you know. Honestly, actually, no, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I changed my rating. I'm sorry for the people in the intro. I I'm giving it an 8.5. This show was amazing. I do not regret watching it, and I can't wait to see season 2. I don't want to read the manga because I don't want to fill my plate too much and then not want to watch the show because you know I already know what happens. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. So if you watch the show, you know, let me know. Uh, I didn't spoil anything in this, I hope. But thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed this. This one's a little shorter. That's because I'm not really feeling the greatest right now. My head is dying and the headset's not making it any worse. But hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you think of Tokyo Revengers in the comments or if you're interested in watching it. And yeah, I hope to see you all soon. I'll check y'all out. Peace. Yeah, there you go.